Hello from ColDesi. My name is Mark and I'm here to talk to you about the all-new Spangle Elite. So in this video we're going to talk about what is a spangle, what does the Spangle Elite do, what does the equipment do, a bit about the software, and then we'll go through and we'll run a design and we'll put it on a shirt. We're going to be making this design right here. So let's get up close and I'll tell you a bit about what a spangle is. So as we get closer here, you're seeing there's a lot of light reflection going on here, and these are small holographic discs. All right, so they are virtually flat, even though they look much like a rhinestone. You know, folks will say that this looks like a holographic vinyl or a rhinestone or something like that, but it's actually a flat holographic disc. So let me show you how it's made. So the Spangle Elite comes where spangles come on a tape like this. Okay? And this tape is in the cartridge right here, Spangle Elite cartridge. And a cartridge like this is about 70 meters. So depending on the size spangle you're going to do, you're going to get thousands, tens of thousands of spangles on a cartridge. So look online. We'll share some links in the videos. But when you go on there, you can really dive deep into how much these things cost and all of that stuff. But to give you an overview, a shirt like this just takes a few minutes to make on the Spangle Elite, and it's about $1.50 in actual spangle material on this shirt right here. So to create bling, the cost is very low. If you know much about rhinestones, you would know to be able to put about 2,200 rhinestones on a shirt like this, not only is it going to be very heavy, this is a lightweight shirt, the rhinestones would weigh it down, it'd be less comfortable to wear, but also the cost of those rhinestones wouldn't be $1.50, it'd be closer to probably about $4 or $5. So it's a really economical way to produce bling apparel. It's a very profitable way, which is fantastic, because this shirt right here that we've got now maybe $3 to $4 total in this garment right here, compared to doing other types of bling, could be 4 or 5 times that cost. And it's fast too. The Spangle Elite will punch down spangles up to 900 spangles per minute. So it's a very fast process too. So let's go ahead and let's go through some of the steps and we'll dive into all of it. But first, it all starts off with the software. How do I create these designs? So let's go ahead and we'll walk over to the software and we'll just do a little peek at that. So we're at our computer here, in our showroom computer, and what you're looking at here is our design era software. Or hotfix era is also what it's known as. What this does is this allows you to take either designs from your head, just from scratch, and manually draw them out. You can import in designs. For example, if you had a JPEG image or a vector image or a bitmap or something like that, you can import an image in and convert it over. It also has a vectorizing software, so there's a few things you could do. As I mentioned, you can just go in there, and if you had an idea in your head, you can manually draw all of these things, either one click at a time, all the way to drawing and auto-filling in shapes and designs. So you could do that on your own, including lettering as well. You can also use pre-digitized designs that come in the software. So there's lettering that's pre-digitized, that's ready to go. So you type it in, you hit go. You can also take in a JPEG image and you can trace it. So it's got a tracing function too. So I can take an image like this right here and I can actually begin to trace, and it will autofill in the areas I trace. And then the last function, which is the best function of it, I think, is you bring a design in, like a JPEG or a bitmap or any raster file. You use the auto vectorizing version of the software, so it'll convert it from that raster image to a vector image. And if you don't know much about that, that's not important, but what you're really allowing the software to do is to auto-digitize the spangles for you. So you would bring the image in, you vectorize it, you click on an area, you let it know what color you want the spangle to be, what size you want it to be, and then you hit go and it fills in the area. And then from there, there's tons of tools to go ahead and tweak and make your design look exactly what you'd like it to do. So a hotfix era is an essential part of the Spangle Elite packages, and this is the power behind creating the designs. Once you've created your design, we would use our Tranfer software to send a design over to our Spangle Elite, and then we're ready to punch out the design. So let's go ahead and do that next. Here we are back at our Spangle Elite, And what we've done is we've sent the design over, and the design is prepped and ready to go. So I'm going to open this up and kind of tell you just a couple of things that are in here and what's happening. So we've got our Spangle Elite tape that goes right here, and it feeds through a punch unit. So this punch unit actually punches up and down, and it's actually hole punching essentially out of the tape right there. So it takes the tape, runs it through, and it punches them out, and it puts it onto a transfer tape like this. Now this transfer tape is, almost think about it like a big piece of Scotch tape. It's sticky on one side, and that's where the spangles actually adhere. So the spangles would adhere here, and we'll get a completed transfer in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load it in. We're going to hit start. It's going to start to run through color 1, and then I'll show you a color change. So we'll do kind of an up close showing what it's like to swap out from one color to another, and then we'll have a completed transfer and we'll adhere it to a shirt. So we have our piece of tape here. And we load this in. Now all of this is covered in our training, how all these steps actually work. I'm just doing a quick demo so you can see what's going on. We have our orange. We're going to be using orange, and I'll also be using this blue right here, this royal. So this is loaded up, this is ready to punch, and we just hit go. So what's great about this is if you've got other equipment, if you have a shop right now, you might realize that this is particularly quiet compared to other things. So if you've got embroidery equipment or other large format equipment, you might be creating a lot of noise in your shop. This is relatively quiet. So let's go ahead and actually see what's going on in the machine. I'll open this up and we'll bring the camera in nice and close so you can take a look at the Spangle Elite. Now this color is almost finished. So what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to go ahead and pop in the new tape. So now that our design's complete, we'll feed it out a little bit here. I could put the backing back on here. And here we are, we have got a completed transfer. And I'm using orange and blue. Now we don't get the same bling effect because we've got this transfer sheet on the front. So what we really need to be able to see it is to go over to our heat press. Let's go ahead and do that next. Right now we're at our heat press, and I've got my transfer that we just did. I've got a white t-shirt. This is a 50-50 blend cotton polyester. It will also adhere to 100% polyester shirts, like the shirt you saw in the beginning of the video, and 100% cotton. So it's really great because the Spangles are so versatile in the different types of material they can go on, and they feel great on everything too. So it's really nice if you're going to do full backs, full fronts, back pockets, things like that. Unlike other bling like rhinestones where you don't want that to be sitting on that, or it'd be really heavy. So it's really great that we can take a transfer like this and put it on just about anything. Now I've got 280, 290 degrees is right around where we are for about 15 seconds. So it's also a nice low temperature and it's a short amount of time. So that's great if you're in the apparel industry. You might know that high temperatures and long times can sometimes affect your apparel. Since this is a nice low temperature in a short time, it works really well. We'll center up our design here. And just like anything else, use a parchment or any type of sheet, anything to protect your heat press in your garment. This is a flexible finishing sheet. Just happened to be what was near me. We'll press this down, we'll let it get nice and hot, and this is a warm type of appeal. So what I'm going to do is when we open this up, I'm going to remove the flexible finishing sheet. I'll lift the shirt off. But I'm not going to bring it over to my metal table. That's going to get it too cold. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to lift it up like this. I'm going to get a little bit of air underneath it, let it cool down a little bit. Basically the litmus test for this is if you can hold your hand on it for about 5 seconds, it's probably good. If you can't, it's probably too hot. That's just a simple thought on what it means to be warm. So as we peel it up, it comes up nice and easy, no resistance. And if you do a nice clean peel and you don't have a lot of lint, sometimes you can even reuse the sheets. Folks that ask about that as well. So, why don't you come in here and get a nice close look at our design. Thank you so much for watching our video here on Spangles. I just want to leave with one last note. So when we surveyed our Spangle users, folks that have Spangles and been selling Spangles for years, we talked about consumer perceived value to them. And over 70% of the people we surveyed said that consumer perceived value for Spangles was equal or greater than that of rhinestones. And the exciting, kind of the magical part about that is that Spangles, you can produce them about 4 times faster and about 4 times cheaper than rhinestones. So it's faster, cheaper, and perceive the same value to the end consumer. So when they're buying a piece of apparel that you're creating, the consumer sees it just as well, just as expensive, just as valuable as they would a rhinestone piece of apparel. In addition to that, it's not going to snag on things like glass would on rhinestones. It feels great if you're going to sit on it on your back or on your bottom. It's great for if you're going to be doing apparel for children because there's no lead content to be concerned about. With this material, it's also soft. It's not something that's abrasive like glasses on a piece of apparel, because that's what you're doing when you're putting rhinestones on. So we love rhinestone apparel here. It does look fantastic, but everyone here more and more falls in love with Spangles the more times we use it and the more times you feel it. This is one of those things you've got to see, feel, touch, and see out there to see how brilliant they are. And the best part is just how profitable it is for your business. So if you're looking for your next investment, you're trying to grow, start, or expand a business, whatever it is, and you want to have something out there that sets you apart from your competition that nobody else is doing, chances are in your area, somebody is probably not doing spangles yet. So you're going to be able to come into the market and offer something that nobody else can do. They can't compete with you, and when your customers see this stuff, they're going to love it. So check out some up close shots here of the things we've created, and you could do tons more than this. This is just a little snippet of what you can create with Spangle Elite transfers. Thanks again, and my name is Mark from ColDesi and Coleman & Company.